Down on Rovino, Lionel checks his messages and smiles as he sees a positive reply from the Hex Girls. He stands up and puts on a gray silk scarf, which accents his warm-colored floral dress, before getting up with his glass of cider and leaving the tent he was resting in. Outside, the sun is already nearing the horizon, the blue sky fading into a vibrant orange. Lionel takes his time wandering the festival grounds and returning passing smiles and waves. But eventually, he spots a man whose suit refuses to blend into the fun, casual aesthetics of the crowd around him. His formality turns uncertain heads who, for a moment, wonder who got lost on their way to a board meeting. But Lionel knows this man and, for curiosity of his presence, he walks over to meet him. "West? It's a surprise to see you here. I didn't think you cared for the harvest festivals."
"Yes, well, I believe this may be a good year for talent scouting. And, besides, I have a worker who'd like some time off."
"A worker? Do you mean Cinder?"
"Indeed. It's been some time since she's been to one of the harvest festivals."
"I suppose it has, but I must say I'm surprised they took the time."
"Oh?"
"Surely you've noticed how intense Cinder can be. Though I guess even they can relax when most of Overture has the next few days off."
"Of course. But I should mention it was my idea, and it was met with some resistance."
"Yeah, I figured. I hope they can at least cut loose for a little bit."
"Regardless, I should speak with you on a different matter, that of Boundless's recent campaign."
"Is this really the best time? I'm not exactly in a work mood."
"I understand the people of Athena love their little festivals, but rest assured that they are the only ones. Somewhere, brigands still stir. Deliverance still continues their crusade. Several clanners have probably blown each other to smithereens."
All right, I get it. So, I've not received any official word from IPSN regarding their interests in expanding their mech's capabilities. I should ask what you think.
"I will admit I'm interested in some of the equipment you've shown. Mining equipment like that, repurposed, would be a boon to anyone traveling shipping lines. However, while you said expand, it's my understanding you'd prefer to know if there'll be a reduction in weapon production."
"Of course."
"I still have little interest in that."
"May I ask why?"
"You wish us to throw away our guns for the sake of shutting down a potential war between Deliverance and the Common Front. I too would prefer to nip that situation in the bud, but you know as well as I that, if war did occur, neither Deliverance nor the Common Front would come to us for guns first."
"No, they would go to the black markets, and it's my understanding that IPSN weapons and armor wind up there."
"Many things wind up in the black market, Belmonte. Theft of our equipment is a shame, but it is not the subject today. The subject is having us surrender weapons when there's still so many pirates attacking innocent civilians."
I believe your brother has discussed as much in our meetings."
"Pardon the irony, but my brother can only assume what I do and do not want. If you want my actual feelings on the matter, I will say this. IPSN was established in Overture to protect the system during its growth. Overture is still young, developing, and there are still criminals who would do it harm. Until they are dealt with, IPSN cannot throw away its guns. And though it would pain me to see our major powers at each other's throats, we have an obligation to provide protection, regardless of what those powers do."
"So IPSN will remain a neutral weapons seller then?"
"Amongst other things that will save the average merchant from being cut open for spare parts by the scum of space. But don't misunderstand. I do not believe peace is an impossibility. One day I too would like to see IPSN shed its weaponry and merely provide tools for safe travel through the galaxy. But in order to make that day come to pass, Boundless must unite Deliverance and the Common Front together against common enemies. Believe me, all civilized societies desire nothing more than to disperse crime. If you become the string that binds all three together, peace may come sooner than you think.
I see. That's quite a bit to think about. For the time being, we can only continue the projects we've started.
Of course. I do look forward to seeing what other equipment your people can show. I hope I haven't downplayed its worth.
No, that wasn't our focus, I understand. Both men bow, and Largo West leaves past small patches of eavesdroppers. Lionel merely stays in place, leaning against a wall. Get everyone together, huh? Just talk it out and everything will be peaceful. Lionel downs the rest of the cider in his glass. Spoken like someone who's never had to deal with Meliora. Lionel looks to the pale yellow sky before deciding to detach from the wall and make his way to the spaceport in anticipation of his guests.